Alright. What the hell is going on, everybody? And welcome back. We get ourselves a big best of 3 here between Hero in the top left side of the map and Dongregu in the bottom right. It is the KSL weekly number 46, round of 8, I believe is this one. The weekly KSL tournament run by Chicken Man and Dave Tester. Good on them for keeping the Korean scene alive with a big influx of weekly prize money. And DRG is doing the 15-15, which means no pylon block for Hero this game. He's going to be a little annoyed at that one. He goes, oh man, another person picking up the 15-15. No more easy way to keep the Zergs off of that natural expansion. This is going to be curious because Hero is, of course, a wild man. This is a small map, and it's quite good for aggression. DRG, I would say the big weakness of DRG in this matchup is the fact that he's maybe a bit too binary in terms of being... It feels like he's sometimes a little too focused on efficiency. What I mean by that is a guy like Dark is highly unpredictable. Whereas I think DRG, if you're really on top of your scouting, you can figure out, is he optimizing an all-in, or is he just basically going to play quite greedy and be very defensive, in which case the Protoss can be super greedy and kind of adapt to that. So I think that's going to be the big things that we're looking for here is, can Hero get a read on what DRG is doing, or can DRG buck that trend I just described and actually catch him off guard? I'm going to pull back to the gas. Not the fastest gas mining here. Only 2 workers on it straight away so far as well. So link speed will be a little delayed. Nexus into Cybercore. It's Hero's famous wall off with the opening up there on the pointy bit. Very easy for Zerglings to sneak into his base. Yeah, I can imagine if Hero was back in a Pro League team right now, I'm pretty sure the coach would like strap him to his chair and say, you're not getting food until you can essentially wall your base off in a way that's not so vulnerable. I don't mind it in that he can wall off thick, like with a big thick building behind the pylon. But this bit, until he gets another pylon or something up here reinforcing, being on that little point means it's very easy for an Adept to be misplaced. Adept gets chronoed. Number 2 not being chronoed though, which means he's going to be just chronoing his probes out for a little bit and then double chronoing the oracles. Second Adept is still coming across the map. Nice pylon block for Hero. Okay, that's massive. This is huge. This is so huge, man. So the way it's going to work is basically there's nowhere else to take a third. The front third sucks. So this is a really great start for Hero. He's lured the Queen out of position, already picking off a few of these Zerglings. Get the Creep Tumor would be a nice snipe. Yeah, grabs the Creep Tumor and 2 Zerglings, pulls back. He lets the pylon finish, which you could argue is a bit of a mistake because obviously that is, you know, quite expensive. But I think he's happy to just delay the third base of DRG. Now, his second Adept did take a while to get down here. I think maybe that could have been faster even without the chrono boost. As it is, though, there's only 4 Zerglings and a few Queens out in response. And those Lings and Queens are on top of it. Nice block, nice block. Oh, but the Adepts, they free themselves for the surround of that. And they're going to take out the last Zerglings. Wow, this is really nice damage. Oh, doesn't get the Evo Chamber block down. Already 2 drones do fall. And these Adepts are rotating, trying to get away, and they will. That means they're going to regen shields and come back for more later. There should be Lings building, but Hero senses that DRG is being a greedy boy and not building Zerglings. He's trying to just build more drones to recover from the damage. Probably should cancel that shade. He goes in the main again. The Mad Dog. Oh, man, the Oracle. There was an open mineral line on the natural, but now a Queen pops out. That Oracle, if it didn't go straight to where the Adepts were pulling the Queens, could have done big damage. I've played against Hero a lot in the early game, and I tell you, normally those Adepts, they'll pull your Queen somewhere, the Oracle will hit elsewhere, but that was a slight misplay for Hero. Could have been a bit further ahead of this opening aggression if he did that just a little bit smoother. It always feels like his Oracles hit at such an early timing when you're just struggling to deal with the Adept so hard. And he does make his opponents often feel outclassed. And I know, obviously, I'm relating that as someone who's much lower level and gets ripped to shreds just by Hero's early game almost every time I've fought him. The few times I've made it up to like 4 base versus 4 base in a vaguely even game, it's so rare. But it's not just against noob. Casters like myself, like Dark, we've seen so often lose 10, 12 workers to the first 2 Adepts and first Oracle. And it's not over yet. The Oracles didn't take damage. They've still got the ability to get in there. 7 Queens and 2 Spores, my god, okay. I would say that's a bit of an over-response from DRG, but you know what? Hero's Focus Fire is terrible. That was appallingly bad. Wow. He just Focus Fired so many different drones there, just lots of misclicks, loses an Oracle. Second one deep in the orange. And only for 4 drone kills. The rest of them are going to heal up. That's actually really nice, man. Now, DRG is not in a great position, but I think he's okay if he can shut down this next wave of pressure and do nothing but drone. I mean, he needs a 4th hatchery, though. If you're playing +1 melee, you need a 4th base very early. There we go. It does go down. Because you need that production to stop the blink attack. There's only 1 gate with now 4 more gateways building behind it. Queen and Spore will be more than enough to defend this. Oracle's going to go for the 2nd kill, but that means both of his remaining Oracles are now deep orange. They're not going to be able to keep diving anymore. 56 workers for Hero. So Hero is ahead on the workers. He's got Blink and +1 on the way. He's going up to, was that 5? 7 gates. So he's going up to 7 gate Blink. Looks like he wants to push off that. And no 5th and 6th gases just yet for him. Baneling Nest is on the way. Now, Baneling Nest here with no Roach Warren is always a bit of a gamble in my opinion. I always feel like going Roach Warren is simply the more stable play. It's the safer play. The Banelings, of course, are basically like, look, I want to go Massling to deal with your Stalkers, but if you surprise me with charge, I want to be able to make some Banelings to deal with it. It does give some aggressive potential as well. Obviously, you also want to make Baneling speed, maybe as even higher priority than Roach speed, which is why that sometimes does get prioritized. DRG does start a Roach Warren and a Macro Hatch, but he's only on 55 workers against 64, and whilst he has plenty of Zerglings to defend a super early Stalker push, Hero's actually looking for a 4th base as he moves forward to pressure. Blink isn't quite done. Uh-oh, Blink isn't quite done. Beautiful timing here for DRG if he can kill these Stalkers, but with the Oracles coming back, it's an expensive trade. That's a lot of Zerglings to lose. 39 for 2 Stalkers. The Oracles made that super costly, and the Oracles are now on 5 kills and 8 kills. 4th base starts up. And is this pre-Robo? Oh, 4th base pre-Robo is so smooth, man. Because now he can both exert aggression with Stalker Oracle, and he can start adding tech off of 4 bases. Lings for DRG, looking for a way around. +2 melee Bane speed and Roach speed are all here. 7 queens are out. These 4 queens going to respread creep. But no drones on that 4th. I mean, DRG is behind in this game. If you could get some Banelings in a mineral line or something like that, it would be fantastic. But the sentry stationed at home is going to be ready with force fields. We'll see how quickly he activates those, though. If he gets a surround on the battery, that could be big. Ooh, Hero does get the force field a bit late. And the battery will go down. Look at that. Once the batteries falls, the probes will go down. Oh my god, fighting with the probes is such a bad move! He does finally go back to mining, but only after losing 11 of them. Not enough Lings to take down all of these Stalkers, but he does force the recall as those Lings come in. 2 Stalkers go down. 3rd one almost goes down. Dude, Hero just screwed up real bad there. He needed to just try and run the probes away, warp in some Zealots, and get out of there, but he gets caught off guard. DRG is now back in the game, up to 70 workers, and in an absolutely fine position. I mean, absolutely fine might be pressing it, but he's in an okay position. Baneling speed's done. +2 melee is only about a minute away. If he can hit a 9-minute timing, he might be able to get in there before Hero's 4th base really pays off. Hero's still reprobing the 3rd. He's trying to build cannon battery. High Templar there, gathering energy. Psystorm on the way as well as charge. That's 15 Stalkers. Only 1 Oracle left on the map, so 2 Oracles. A lot of those expensive units have gone down. Lings looking for the wraparound on those Stalkers yet again. They try to blink back. There was more Lings that had split behind. I think he actually could have killed a bunch of those because recall is way, way, way far away. Charge, almost finished. Getting up that probe count. Hero just needs to defend right now. DRG is going to be going pretty much all in on Ravager Ling Bane. He's broken these rocks. I don't like attacking with the whole army from this side, but if he attacks from both sides, he could find the mark. Problem for him. +2 attack is done. Storm is done. He's not finding the crispest timing. I feel like he's about 30 seconds late on where Hero is really weak. Now, Hero is still probing, which is insane. It's actually crazy that he's still probing. I like, though, that he's got Stalkers up there and 2 High Templar. Stalkers here. He should not be moving out right now. Hero, you just probed 4 bases. Oh my god, attacking right now is crazy. Okay, he pulls back. He pulls back in time. Nice Psystorms on the Banelings. Lots of those taking damage, but he doesn't run his probes. And that means the Banelings should be able to take those out. But DRG focused on the army, not the probes. And he misses out on some juicy probe kills. The Storms were good enough. The Stalkers clean it up. And that's looking like a lovely fight for Hero. The blink forward, a little bit of a madman move. But I understand he wants to punish DRG for overextending. But every time he blinks forward, I think he's got enough firepower to make it worthwhile. Units lost have now 1,500 resources in favor of Hero. Remember, it was actually even before those last engagements. It was 2,700 versus 2,700. Robo finally goes down for Hero. He's got the 8 gases mining, more cannons and batteries rebuilding. Those Stalkers down there with that single Oracle doing well. Normally in this sort of game, I think it's always worth building an extra Oracle. Hero's one of the biggest players who loves to do that. I'm surprised he hasn't, because he's not aware of that army gathering in the north, and that could catch him off guard. Only one High Templar and a few Stalkers there. Quite a bit of Ling Bane coming in. This High Templar on the north doesn't quite have a storm. If it had a storm, it could stop it, but without a storm, that Ling Bane for DRG might work out. Attack on the south goes very poorly. Banelings, though, are blocked, and the Banelings being blocked is massive. He has to blow up the pylon, and the storm kicks in. The Stalker's buying just enough time. Probes are running around. Looks like 10 probes do go down. 15 and 16. Yeah, not a bad trade there for DRG, getting 16 workers down, keeping his opponent's economy small. Problem is, that does not give him a lead. All that does is give DRG a bit of time, because he is playing a Lair Tech all-in style. DRG's specialty has been Lair Tech for life. He was at his best in Heart of the Swarm, and it does make sense. He's playing to his strengths as a player, and he's seeing what he can get done. Stalker Arc on Oracle coming forward. We've got Lings up there in the north. They're going to go after the cannons, the batteries, and the Nexus down here in the south. Uh-oh. Stalker's going to dive on the fourth base, both sides. Okay, so third base goes down for Hero, fourth base goes down for DRG. Few Zealots do get intercepted, but DRG doesn't have many Banelings on the defense, but he gets a good angle as the Stalkers blink forward. But I think as those Storms land, it could be big. Storms are kind of delayed here. It's just mass Roach against Stalker. Oh, no range upgrades on the Roaches really hurts in these scenarios. But the fight angle deep on creep is very good for DRG. And you know what? Storms just aren't that effective against non-Ling Bane units. The Stalkers have to try and get out to the left. There's Lings coming home. He's going to have to recall. But I think he's just going to lose everything. Looks like this was a good enough fight for DRG. DRG with the counterattacks. This kind of looked like a Zerg versus Clem game. You know, DRG was behind, but then the over-aggressive player moves out when you expect them to. You counterattack, you do massive damage, and suddenly you turn a disadvantage to an advantage. It was Hero's over-aggression being relied on time and again by DRG. And rather than getting himself ahead, when ahead, Hero tried to push for the victory. And against a guy like DRG, who in this game had no Hive and no Lair, that was a terrible misplay. He never went past 70 workers. It was a low worker count, mid-game tech Zerg that had to make damage happen, whilst the Protoss army could have got much better over time. The problem was that he never rebuilt his oracles. So he didn't know that this base was empty. He didn't know that there was not that many workers even on the fourth base, and he didn't know that there was no Hive. That's part of the reason you always need an oracle skirting around the back, checking the Hive, checking the tech, and seeing what's going on. All right, guys, going into game 2, Hero's going to send a very quick probe across at the very start of this game to ensure the block. Site Delta is a pretty big map, though. That was like the very start, right? He sent this probe. Okay. So he's going to go 14 pylon after sending one of his first probes out, because he didn't want to go 13 pylon. On most maps, you can go 13 pylon to get a block down. But Hero is saying, I want to make sure your expansion's blocked no matter what. And that is meant to block a 15 hatch. However, on Site Delta, apparently it doesn't. Dude, how did he get his hatchery down in 36 seconds? Does Site Delta just mine minerals really fast compared to other maps? I swear it's normally 37 or 38 seconds. Or was Hero like 1 second slow to pull his probe? You guys let me know in the comments. I honestly don't know. Maybe someone can be bothered hopping in a custom game and testing that. Like, that's crazy. But DRG gets the hatchery down 2 games in a row, which is a great start for him. He already made a comeback in game 1. I'm fascinated. I thought that block would absolutely get down. I've seen Hero block Serral's expansion, Reyna's expansion, by sending that across on other maps, but I guess Site Delta might be one of the furthest from main base to enemy natural in terms of blocking that. Good mining denial. I mean, Dongre-gu. Man, whenever I see a guy just not attack the probe, I'm like, just attack the probe, man. It's so much less stressful than having your workers get bounced around and having to counter micro. Like, this is so hard. There we go. He finally caves and does it. Solar often attacks the probe, and that's all the indication I need that it is a good thing, and it's not just a noob thing. Solar, and I've seen a few of the other top Zergs do it, where they just attack the probe, and I'm like, okay, can't be that bad. Some of the top guys are doing it. Now, it is once again just slowly rallying onto gas, and he sends one worker onto the natural, which is what you want to do with the 15-15. You really need to get those minerals up on the natural as quickly as possible, because you got to catch up on the fact that you delayed a few workers early on. to get the fast hatchery. And that's why you'll see often in Zerg versus Terran, or even in this matchup, Reyna often just leaves 1 worker on gas and gets 2 workers on minerals before putting more workers onto the gas. I like this. There's a question in chat. How far do you guys like to chase the probe away? It's funny because it's like bronze, silver, gold. You basically attack it with a worker, and that worker you all forget about, and it chases the worker to their base or kills it, and then sits wherever it killed it until it either gets killed or the game ends, right? Platinum or diamond. It chases their worker all the way to their base, and then you realize and bring it home. And then Masters and GM, you just chase it away from harassing your minerals, and then you go back to mining. And then you die to the cannon rush that it secretly put up the moment it left your main. 2 adepts coming in the front. All right, we've got an Oracle coming out. Chrono Boost finally goes down on it. Double adept coming in pretty early. That's not super duper early, and those adepts weren't clumped, so he couldn't really do much. I do like that the creep tomb is not spreading. DRG knows he'll lose it if he does that. Interesting Overlord placement, guys. He puts 2 out front. I normally put 1 out front my third, but this is actually a good idea for this early, as long as he adjusts the Overlord positioning in the near future. And he's already got a 3rd adept coming over. First Oracle's already out. He's got a 2nd gateway coming in behind this. 2nd Oracle was delayed slightly. I would like to see him chrono boost that. But what I'd like to see is that Oracle actually split from the adepts this time. Remember what we saw last game where the Oracle didn't split? But good defensive split on the units for DRG. Loses 2 lings, but kills an adept. Great trade for him. Oracle flies into the main. There's 2 queens ready for it. Oh, that's a shutdown. It's a shutdown. Even if you grab 2 drones here, you take enough damage that's a really good defense for DRG. You're always going to take a little bit of damage. That being said, he built 12 workers, which is on the heavy side. Against 3 adepts, I think it's fine. His queen count is always insane. DRG is like a queen masser, man. He loves to make so many queens early. He does need to fix up the saturation in his main. You can see he's rallying 1 worker back there. Probably needs to rally a few more back to the main and the natural. He's trying to get over to the 3rd now. And he does go Spore Crawler in all 3 bases as well as 6 queens. Yeah, he's definitely not skimping on the anti-air. And I guess if you know he's going to go 3 oracles, it's not too bad to get that. I just think he could squeeze a few more drones out. You see he's got 6 lava and he's not spending it right now. He definitely could delay the spores and queens a bit longer to be more efficient. The lings damage the nexus, but 7 lings die to damage a nexus, which doesn't do anything. It's not like it builds probes slower if it's damaged. So that's a good start for Hero. Hero's actually got a 3rd oracle out now as well. That's just flown out and flying out over his 3rd. He's got a bunch of adepts coming forward. 5 there, 2 behind it. 7 adepts and 3 oracles is a real damaging force. I think he'll probably fly down the left, and he's probably either going to go for this angle, or he's just going to... No, he's going to stasis trap on top of the queen. Oh my god. Oh. Just stay back. Oh my god, he does a 2nd one. Dude, he's such a D-bag. Hero. DRG not reacting quickly enough, trying to just slowly pick at it with the queen, and that's going to cost him. Does set off 1. There's still 1 more stasis trap there. He sets off the 2nd one, finally returns to mining, but he's already lost 5 drones. Oh, DRG needed to just set the stasis trap off. Waiting to kill it seems like a good idea, but it takes way too much attention. And that attention is what costs him here. The adept shade back. Oh, bad shade. Bad shade for Hero. He's going to lose. Well, actually, it was a really quick recall. He only loses like 1 adept there. What the hell, man? And there's more drones going down. The Oracle's just dove in the main as well and got even more. Wow. Massive damage there for Hero. DRG looked like he had a pretty good start, but like I said, he kind of over-defended early and then still took tons of damage in the follow-up. If you over-defend like that, you need to really shut down the offense, and DRG does not shut down the offense. He finds himself in trouble. The Lings could swarm this base, though. He's going to morph Banelings down the south. Oh, this could get very dicey. There's still Oracles up front, and they got plenty of energy. They see Lings coming. Hero, wake up, Hero. Wake up. You just saw Lings flooding across the base. Oh my god, he wasn't watching. He wasn't watching. He's going to lose so many of these probes. Oh my god. Oh, the pylon. Pylon doesn't get depowered for a long time, and that actually buys time. So much time, which means the Oracles get back, and the Adepts hold on, and that's fine. 11 probes doesn't really matter when your opponent blows their wad of Banelings to get through, because now you just rebuild, keep making units, keep your Stalker in the natural wall, and you're going to be much better off. Now, this wall off much better than that last game, you can see, because it's not got a weird diagonal. It's actually like a solid line on the left side that makes the choke a bit better. Lings clicking on the 3rd. That's a little bit of cope there, but DRG is kind of all in right now, and 47 worker mass Ling Bane. The Stalker's on the right. We're not in position. But there's 4 oracles out, so does it even matter? If there's more warpins in the main in time, a few zealots in here would be amazing. The probes, oh my god, the probe's not moving. Does lose a few probes, but those oracle lasers clean them up so fast. And at the end of that, no droning has started. It's still mass ling for DRG. And now his best bet is like, don't ever drone. Just keep massing units. Hero's hero. He's going to attack you. Hide your units, wait for him to get on creep, and go for a counterattack while trying to barely defend at the same time. Question is, does he really have the numbers to pull that off like he did in the last game? Maybe, maybe not. Hero's easy way to get ahead here would be to take a 4th and tech up, but of course his name is Hero, and crazy attacks that are absolutely insanely risky are his middle name. Oh, battery overcharge, seal the Nexus. Just, it's going to save it. It's going to save it. It's going to save it. With the Oracle damage, he saves it. Oh, DRG. Got to be a little bit triggered by that one. Stalker's blinking to the high ground as well. In this game, I'd honestly build a 5th Oracle if I was Hero, because they are just getting so much value. Almost 2 to 1 of the units lost, and Hero is handling the chaos just fine. Like I said, it's so easy to just get ahead here and defend. That wouldn't play to Hero's strengths. Hero's strengths are making the game an absolute hot mess of a StarCraft match, and that's what he wants to win. And he's going to be defending here with probes and stalkers. Those lings so desperately want to kill the Nexus, but the stalkers will not let them. And that is going to be 8 gate of Stalker with a 9th gate on the front. Going to get reinforced with fast warp ins. That'd be great. Has Pig prepped these? It seems like he's omnipotent. No, I haven't seen these games at all. I literally said at the start of the day, this is the best games of StarCraft I'm casting today. I picked a random series for the start. I often pick a warm-up series where I'm just like, I wonder what happened there. I literally have no idea if it's even good games. I thought they might be really one-sided, but this is actually really fun action right now. Battery overcharge healing the Nexus. Not enough this time. Finally, DRG has been denied so often. We'll try to do it. DRG just can't drone up here, guys, because if he drones up, he just dies to the blink. So he's trying to mass army, but you can see he's still down in army supply. When you're this far down in army and workers, this is what we call dead man walking. Percy from the Green Mile is right now Hero, walking along the cells, banging his baton, his nightstick on the bars, just saying dead man walking. And he's just basically being a douchebag because he enjoys the slaughter of the Zerg and reveling in the fact that they're already dead. Well played by Hero. That was really well done. Ties it up 1-1. All right, guys, going into game 3. Well, guess what? My lovely ex-pro gamer friend Eon Blue just went and looked up the times on Site Delta. Oh, that's a bad pylon placement. That doesn't reach the top. I think that should be up into the left one space. I think he misplaced that. I mean, I guess he's just going to put the choke point on that side, so it doesn't really matter because the Hero does his funny wall-offs, but definitely a bit of an odd wall-off. He's not going for the block this time. So Eon Blue tested it. He sent a worker across at the very start. He said if you send one of your workers at the start, it arrives at 37 seconds on Site Delta. And with a 15 hatch, 15 pool, if you do your early game worker splits perfectly and you spread your drones out, doubled up on the patches, you micro your workers nicely, you actually get the hatchery on 36 seconds and something. So it's like maybe 36 and a half seconds. Basically, you have... Assuming you get clean mining at the start as DRG, you will get the hatchery down in time, which means going for a block at the very start actually makes no sense on Site Delta. I'm not sure if Hero knows that or not, but it doesn't surprise me that Hero doesn't know that, because Hero is, of course, a guy who's a bit more play-by-feel, a bit more loose, a bit more airy-fairy in his play, whereas, you know, a guy like Showtime is going to have every timing memorized, but he's not got the same chaotic, flowing killer instinct that Hero does. Now, interestingly, Hero puts 3 workers on gas. When you don't scout, I actually don't think there's any reason to pull workers off minerals onto gas. Because you haven't sent a scout, so you've actually got so much more mining. I wonder if anyone disagrees with me on that, but if you look at this, he's already got so much gas. Cybercore's just started. So I don't think there's any way you can use all this gas. So I think Hero's using a slightly unoptimized opening. It's not a huge deal. Chat says Hero has 2 openings in his wall now. Yeah, what is this wall off? Like I said, the pylon doesn't reach to that side, so we knew he was going to do the choke point there on the pointy thing, which is, like I said, not the best choke, but it's okay if you take this 3rd on the left. I assume we're just going to see a second gateway and like maybe a few buildings here to wall off. If he was up against an earlier gas, it might be a deal. Because DRG is not going to have ling speed till about 4 minutes. I think it doesn't matter too much, but definitely a fun Hero wall off. Wait, sorry. Wait, even if he walls that off, he's still got an opening there and there, which means does he not even realize this is open? Come on, Hero. That's so obvious. Like, look at the pylon positioning. Any Protoss player looks at this and just says, that looks wrong. Platinum players in the chat, you agree, right? Even Platinum players know that that pylon is so obviously out of position. The moment it went down, it was obviously out of spot. Wow, he actually beats 2 Lings with 4 probes. Good micro for Hero. He's going to lose the second. No, he gets it. Dude, what a sicko. Okay, the Adept's going to go in and start picking off drones. Oh, gets one. Notice how he moves up on the drone, so there's no space to build the Spore Crawler. Really nice blocking for Hero. Now, DRG, what I'd love to see from him is a few less or delayed Spore Crawlers, especially in the natural base. His natural, most easily defended base, I think he can skip the Spore there for a bit longer. If he could delay his Spores just a little bit longer with this heavy 6-7 Queen opening, I'd love it. I know it's a bit risky, but I think it's worth. Oh, Hero gets an Overlord in the middle of the map. That's huge. That's huge. And even if he gets to the pillar, the Oracle will come out and actually spot for it. And the Stalker can now go home and go for this guy. So this Overlord, remember, he's got to skirt the edge. Stalker comes from there. He goes deeper. Stalker comes to the high ground. He'll go out to the outside. Really nice opening for Hero. And there's already 2 Spores building. Oh, that puts him so far behind. You can't go 2 Spores and 5 Queens this early. DRG's opening his opening defense is paranoid. This is actually something where he needs to study under Solar. Solar's got his opening a lot tighter than this. So that's something DRG really needs to study, those replays, because look at his work account now. And remember, the Oracles are still going to find a drone here or there. The Adepts and the Oracles are still going to find damage. So his economy is really hurting, and I think he's going to struggle to get over to that 3rd base. He's got good creep spread, but definitely DRG's opening is never going to get him ahead unless Hero throws his units away. Guys, there's still an opening on the right side of that gateway. And an opening over here. This is a 3-hole wall. This is the funniest wall off I've seen from a pro gamer in a long time. And now okay, now it's a 2-hole wall. Hero has to build all of his buildings in his natural just to try and stop it being a 3-holer. Sorry, the Oracles did come in and get 4 more drones. I'm sorry for laughing at this sloppy game, guys, but it's just funny. I love that the top players are so relatable to me sometimes, because like, I'm also a guy who doesn't really study his pylon placement exactly anymore. I just kind of throw it down, and I do sometimes end up in these sort of games where my wall off just looks like trash. But let's see how Hero activates a way to make it work. Gets himself a drone. There's only 10 Zergans, but 10 more are on the way. Oracle's pulling back, Adept shading into that main base. Oh, the stasis traps. The Lings try to stop them. Nice focus fire by DRG. Drones are trying to fight. You don't really want to be fighting with drones against Adepts. Great positioning on the Adepts as well. They pick off 12, 13. Well, he cancels the shade. Oh my god, I just assumed he was going to shade out there. 16 workers go down. And DRG is down in the dumps. Hero is all over him right now. Chief 3-hole here, just absolutely ripping it up, man. Sorry, I don't know. Chief 3-hole. Just seems like a good name for the Protoss chieftain over here. I don't know why I find this so funny. This is just such a hilarious wall off. Now, I think Hero, he's suffered a lot of run buys from DRG. I don't think DRG is gonna. DRG, there's a hole right there. I'm pretty sure he can run through that hole, guys. Maybe he can't, but I'm pretty sure he could have clicked through. Maybe that is sealed. Maybe it was 2 holes the whole time, but I'm pretty sure he's just A moving. He's not even trying. I've had games like this. There's a clip I have in my my highlight reel on my stream where I actually have a hole like this, and the enemy just kept attacking into my Adepts, doing a Ling Flood over and over, and only after 3 waves of Ling Flood did we both realize there was an opening just to the side that he'd never used. Yeah, no, it's not sealed. It's not sealed. Now it's sealed. Chat was telling me it's sealed. Yeah, it was wide open. If DRG just clicked to the right, they would have run in. I told you guys. You're like, no, they would have gone in. No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't. Yeah. It was. I did a 3-hole wall in that game back on that map, and it was one of the most embarrassing moments where at the end of the game I realized me and my high GM opponent were both absolute morons. Nexus goes down on the left side. DRG's doing a good job of staying active. He's got Burrow as well. Actually, no, he canceled Burrow. Okay, that must have been a misclick. 4th base is up. He's going to try and drone the 4th. He's playing Ravager Bane. Problem is there's 16 Stalkers and 4 Oracles. Luckily, because he's been so aggressive, the Oracle energy is low, so it's kind of hard for Hero to push. Does Hero have a Robo? No Robo yet either. So, I mean, Hero's tech isn't that far along. He's building a 6th Oracle, though. Or a 5th Oracle, I should say. 5 Oracles. So he's gonna have... He can leave one at home, come across with the Stalkers and the rest, push towards the 4th. DRG's on 65 workers. Now, I like that DRG being behind is staying low on gas. Notice he's just going to 4 gases. Because he realizes, well, how do you get back in a game from behind? Minerals is the most important thing. You could probably go to 5 or 6 gases in a little bit. But just having more roaches, more lings, doesn't cost a lot of gas. That could work really well. Oh, Oracles are getting 3 drones. Oh, 4, not bad. Let's lose one, though. Good focus fire for DRG. Robo and a Templar Archives on the way. Hero's going to go to the next stage of the game this time around. Good choice for him. Oracles on that. Oh, only 1 Spore. 1 Spore, 1 Queen will not defend this. He could have killed a lot there, man. Oh, he wanted to pull back one of the Oracles. I guess he wants to stasis trap, or okay, he wants to revelate. He's just making sure there's no hive. Remember, game 1 he died because he didn't realize it was lair tech and he kept attacking. In this game, he's like, well, as long as you don't have a hive started, there's no pressure on me to move out. I've already got 22 Stalkers, which is probably too many if I'm not being aggressive. Let's make charge. Let's go 12 gate, charge Archon, maybe add Size Storm. So I think Hero is adopting more of a defensive stance. And Hero in general has a very good understanding of how to just vary his style up to make things hard for his opponent. Oh, very slick sentry warp in. That was really nicely done, man. But surprisingly not using his Oracles to do damage there. I thought he was going to turn those on. Stalkers are going to try and chase this army down. The Roaches and the Lings are going to turn around. Bit of a sloppy fight here for Hero coming to the low ground. There was no need to engage on the low ground, but as always, whenever his opponent overextends, Hero cannot resist blinking at his opponent. Like, I feel like the way to beat Hero is almost just to be a matador. You know, you wave the red flag, you're like, I'm attacking. Oh, it failed. I'm going to run away now. And he's just like, he will immediately run out of his defenses, sally forth from the gates, lower the drawbridge, charge forth. But Gandalf is not there. It's not the dawn on the 3rd day or whatever the hell the thing is. You're literally just charging out to get slaughtered. So Hero's got to be a bit more careful on that. He's building more Immortals. Still no splash damage. No double forge, no splash damage. Only Hero would just sit here massing units on 4 base, 90 probes, and not get a second forge or any splash damage. A few Archons and Immortals are coming in. It's going to work out. I mean, he's up 20 workers. DRG has to do something, but he's walled off on 2 sides. Hero's in an amazing position if he can just defend this attack. I don't know how you break in here, man. Breaking the rocks is DRG's choice. Baneling's trying to get through, but the Blink Spready is great. Battery overcharge. Even the High Templar says, get out of here, mate. There's just no way he can get up this ramp. DRG has been all in on lair tech all series long. Remember, Hero has adapted throughout the series. He said every game you've mass ravaged a Bane on 65 workers. The only difference this game is he went to 72 workers, 6 more workers. He doesn't have a hive. He's just started an infestation pit. DRG's strategic range is too limited, and that's what Hero is punishing. Now, Hero, unfortunately, doesn't have any supply. He's supply blocked right now, so his Oracles are going to have to try and defend. Batteries and probes doing okay. Main base is going to suffer some damage. No unit in the wall, and of course, supply block makes it very hard to warp in units to defend, but he only loses 6 probes, and he had 90 plus, so he's A-okay. Stargate transition begins behind this. I don't think Hero needs a Stargate transition, but it's a good way to kind of force an opponent to build things that shoot up. Stalkers are kind of just taking him to the face. Archons as well. No blink back micro for Hero. A single Ling in the main has killed 5 probes right now. As the probes do start to run away, Hero has such a big numbers advantage, it might not matter. Looks like the probes finally beat that Zergling inside the main base. And DRG, just not enough flexibility in his play. And I always say, if you're playing Lair Tech Zerg, it's actually really good as long as you like slow down their 3rd, then you deny their 4th once or twice, then you keep their army really small. But if you're not trading hard enough early enough, you better have an economic advantage, or if they go to the later stages, they become the Zerg player. And that's what Hero's doing here. You might look at these fights and think this isn't clean. Hero doesn't need it to be clean. He has more stuff. He can be inefficient if he wants. He can YOLO it. He can do whatever he wants. It might not be the most technical, prettiest way to win a PvZ, but it is bloody effective. And that all comes back to the fact that if we go back earlier in this game, go back to the 9-minute mark or so, 8-minute mark, you look at this and you say, okay, DRG is down on workers. The 4th base is established. He's the one who needs to be droning and teching insanely hard right now to get ahead, or he needs to do damage right here, right now. And basically, when this attack gets stopped by this lovely gateway wall on the left, The new gateways coming up in the middle really helping him out. It feels like Hero just blocks DRG's aggressive attempts using these lovely ramps, these choke points on Hecate. And when DRG failed to find damage here, traded a lot of his units out, he no longer really had much of a big edge in terms of anything, because his worker count is mining less. Every second that goes by, there's more Protoss, there's more wall-offs, more buildings, more static. And Hero's able to just get to a big enough army that he can survive anything DRG throws at him. If you're making Ravagerling Bane, you don't have that many Banelings, you're only up a couple supply, that's not very good. If you're playing a heavy Roach army, you want to have a massive supply advantage over Protoss so that you can really bring those numbers to bear. This just shows that Hero got ahead early and carried that lead through the mid game. Really well played by Hero, and he secures the 2-1 win.